The unexpected arrival, the cold wind, howled outside the isolated research station nestled deep within the barren plains of northern Alaska. Inside, the fluorescent lights flickered faintly, casting long shadows across the sterile laboratory where a small team of scientists worked late into the night. The station was built to study atmospheric anomalies, but no one there expected the event that was about to unfold. Dr. Maya Reynolds, the lead geneticist, stared at the monitor in front of her. Strange readings were pulsing steadily, readings that didn't match any known natural phenomenon. "This can't be right," she murmured to herself, leaning closer. Suddenly the ground trembled, a subtle vibration at first, then a low rumble that shook the entire building. The power flickered and then went out, plunging the room into darkness, save for the emergency red lighting. "Everyone, hold tight!" called out Dr. Reynolds, her voice steady despite the rising tension. Through the window, a faint glow appeared. In the sky, it wasn't like any aurora borealis the team had seen before. The glow descended rapidly, crashing into the frozen tundra just a few miles away. "Did that just land?" whispered Aaron, a junior technician, eyes wide. Within minutes, the team was mobilized. Wrapped in heavy gear, they ventured outside, the bitter cold biting through their suits. When they reached the crash site, the sight before them was surreal. There, standing tall against the snow, was a towering figure, over 9 feet tall, with a regal bearing and an aura that commanded respect and fear alike. Her skin shimmered like molten metal, shifting colors as if alive. Large, luminescent eyes regarded the humans calmly, and a crown of delicate tendrils crowned her head, pulsating softly. The alien queen. Maya's breath caught. "She's alive." The queen spoke, her voice resonating in their minds rather than their ears. "I have come to mock your arrogance, humans. You think you understand life. Your reproduction is a joke." Despite the language barrier, the meaning was clear. She mocked them, humans, with their fragile bodies and limited lifespans. Days passed, and the queen was brought back to the station. The team was both fascinated and terrified. What was her purpose? Why had she come here, and why now? Then came the revelation. The queen was pregnant, but the fetus growing inside her was unlike anything they had ever seen. An alien-human hybrid, a union never before imagined. The lab buzzed with theories and fear. Was this a threat or a miracle? What did this hybrid mean for humanity's future? Then the Queen's voice echoed again, cold and ominous. "You have no idea what you have unleashed. Secrets beneath the surface." The sterile walls of the research station seemed colder than ever, despite the humming machinery and the breath of the busy scientists. The towering alien queen rested in a specially designed containment chamber. One. Built not just for her size, but for the unknown biological marvel she carried inside her. The team had been working around the clock, desperate to unlock the secrets behind the strange pregnancy. Dr. Maya Reynolds paced in front of the glass, her eyes scanning the alien queen's form. Despite the queen's intimidating presence, Maya couldn't help but feel a strange mixture of awe and sympathy. This was not just an alien invader. This was a mother-to-be, carrying a life that defied every scientific understanding. "Dr. Reynolds, the fetal scans are stable," reported Aaron, pointing at the holographic display floating between them. The images showed a rapidly developing fetus, one that exhibited both human and alien genetic markers. Maya nodded. "We need to understand the genetic implications. How is this hybrid viable at all? It shouldn't be." Across the room, Dr. Felix Moreno, a biochemist with a skeptical mind, shook his head. "It's an anomaly, a freak occurrence, but it's dangerous. We should prepare for containment protocols. If that hybrid behaves unpredictably..." Before he could finish, a low rumble vibrated through the floor. The alien queen stirred. Her eyes flickered open, glowing softly. Though her massive form remained still, the team sensed her awareness, her intelligence, and a warning simmered beneath her regal facade. "Why are you here?" Maya asked gently, stepping closer to the containment glass. "What do you want from us?" The queen's mental voice echoed again, calm but firm. "Your species is weak, fragile. You mock me, but this hybrid is your reckoning, the future you will see." Maya swallowed. "Reckoning? What do you mean?" The queen didn't answer directly, but a flicker of pain crossed her face. Then she focused on Maya, her eyes searching as if peering deep into her soul. As the days passed, tension within the station grew. The military liaison, Colonel Briggs, arrived with a team of heavily armed soldiers. His presence was a reminder that this was no longer just a scientific mission, it was a potential security crisis. "We can't take risks," Briggs said bluntly in the command room. "That alien, and whatever she's carrying, could be a weapon. Our priority is containment and, if necessary, termination." Maya bristled. "Termination? We don't even understand what we're dealing with. This could be the biggest scientific breakthrough of the century." Briggs scoffed. "You scientists always want to play heroes. I'm here to protect the country." The ideological clash was obvious, but the Queen herself seemed to watch this human conflict with a detached amusement. Meanwhile, Maya found herself drawn deeper into the Queen's world, trying to communicate. Beyond words, trying to understand what this hybrid meant. One evening, as Maya analyzed the Queen's biometric data, she noticed a startling anomaly. The fetus was not just growing rapidly, it was also adapting. Its genetic structure was evolving, integrating human and alien DNA in ways that defied conventional science. Maya whispered, "This is unprecedented." But with discovery came fear. Other scientists whispered behind closed doors. Some believed the hybrid was a blessing, a new step in evolution. Others saw a monster in the making. Then came the sabotage. In the dead of night, alarms blared throughout the station. Power flickered, and security cameras caught a shadowy figure tampering with the containment unit. Maya rushed to the lab, heart pounding. The Queen was restless, the chamber's energy shields flickering. Suddenly the containment field failed. For a moment, the alien Queen was exposed to the harsh cold of the lab. Her eyes flared with fury as she unleashed a pulse of energy, knocking back the intruder and causing a chain reaction of alarms. When the security team arrived, the saboteur was gone, but the damage was done. The Queen's health was stable, but the incident raised urgent questions. Who would risk sabotaging the experiment? And why? Maya confronted Colonel Briggs. "This was an inside job. Someone doesn't want us to understand the hybrid." Briggs clenched his jaw. "We have enemies, both human and alien. We need to be prepared for anything." But the Queen's reaction surprised them all. She sent a message, not through words, but through a sudden mental projection, vivid and terrifying. "Interfere, and you will face extinction." The weight of that warning settled over the team. Yet even as fears spread, Maya felt a growing connection to the Queen and a deep empathy for the life she carried. In quiet moments, the Queen allowed Maya to sense her emotions, loneliness, determination, and a fierce, protective instinct. Maya realized this pregnancy was not just about biology, it was about survival, identity, and a future none of them could yet understand. But with every discovery, the stakes rose higher. The Queen's hybrid was more than an anomaly, it was a beacon, something powerful enough to unite worlds or destroy them. As Part 2 closed, the station braced for what was coming. The Queen's hybrid was no longer just a secret inside her. It was awakening, and the world outside was watching. Cliffhanger. Late at night, in the dim glow of the lab, the Queen's chamber suddenly glowed brighter. The hybrid's heartbeat accelerated. an ominous sign that something extraordinary and possibly dangerous was about to happen. The hybrid awakens. The alien queen's chamber pulsed softly with an otherworldly light that seemed to breathe with the rhythm of the hybrid growing inside her. The entire research station felt suspended in a fragile balance between awe and dread. Scientists whispered theories, soldiers prepared for contingencies, and Maya found herself at the center of a storm she never could have imagined. It was just past midnight when the monitors began to spike, vital signs rising, the hybrids, heartbeat accelerating faster than any human fetus should. Maya stared at the data, her fingers trembling slightly. This can't be happening, not so soon. The Queen's eyes opened slowly, and for the first time she spoke aloud, her voice deep and resonant, filling the room. It is time. Time for what? Maya thought, a chill running down her spine. Suddenly, the chamber's energy field shimmered violently. The Queen's body tensed as a soft glow emanated from her abdomen, spreading outward. Alarms blared. "Containment breach!" the PA system screamed. Soldiers rushed in, weapons drawn, but Maya raised her hand. "Wait! We don't know what's happening. Let's observe first." Inside the chamber, the Queen's form began to change. Her skin rippled like liquid metal, and from within her body emerged a figure smaller but no less majestic, a hybrid, humanoid, yet alien, with glowing eyes and shifting colors across its skin. The hybrid opened its eyes and looked directly at Maya. In that moment, a connection sparked, something ancient and powerful. Images flooded Maya's mind, visions of distant galaxies, of a civilization struggling against extinction and a desperate hope for survival through this union. The hybrid's voice was not spoken but felt, a mental whisper. "I am both and neither. I am the bridge," Maya gasped. "A bridge? Between what?" The Queen nodded slowly. "Between worlds, between species. The future depends on this child." But outside the chamber, tension exploded. Colonel Briggs stormed in, his face pale but determined. "We need to neutralize it. We can't risk an unknown life form roaming free." Maya confronted him fiercely. "This is not a weapon. This is a new beginning." Briggs shook his head. "Or a disaster waiting to happen." Suddenly, the hybrid's eyes flared, and the energy in the room shifted. The chamber's systems went haywire. Lights flickered, power surged. The hybrid reached out, and with a gesture, the room fell silent. Not from the power cut, but from a wave of calm that swept over everyone. Maya realized the hybrid wasn't a threat in that moment. It was trying to communicate, to understand. Days passed, and the hybrid grew stronger, developing quickly beyond the confines of the chamber. It learned to walk, to speak slowly but deliberately, always observing humans with a curious intelligence. Maya became its closest companion. They shared long conversations, not just words, but thoughts and feelings. The hybrid revealed fragments of its origin, of a war-ravaged homeworld where extinction loomed, and of the Queen's sacrifice to save their legacy through this new life. But the station was far from peaceful. Sabotage attempts increased, whispers of rebellion inside the ranks, and external agencies eager to seize control of the alien technology. One night, Maya found a coded message hidden in the hybrid's mind, an encrypted warning about an approaching fleet, hostile and relentless, coming to reclaim the hybrid or destroy it. Panic rippled through the station. The hybrid's birth had triggered a cosmic beacon. Maya's heart ached. We have to protect it, no matter what. The Queen, weakened but resolute, sent a final message to Maya before retreating into a dormant state to recover from the birth. Trust no one completely. This child carries hope and danger alike. Prepare, for the battle has just begun. As Part 3 closed, the hybrid looked toward the stars, eyes filled with both promise and fear. Outside, the cold night sky was suddenly pierced by the distant gleam. of warships, dark shadows racing toward Earth. Cliffhanger. With enemy ships closing in fast, the station scrambled for defense. But Maya knew this was more than a battle for survival. It was the beginning of a war that could decide the fate of two species forever. The Siege of Hope. The distant stars outside the research station's thick windows suddenly ignited with the sinister glow of warships, sleek, angular, and unmistakably alien. The enemy fleet was no longer a distant threat. It was here, closing in fast, casting long shadows over the planet and everyone within the station. Inside, chaos erupted. Colonel Briggs barked orders, his usual stoic demeanor replaced by urgent determination. All defensive positions, prepare for impact. Shields up. Maya stood by the Queen's containment chamber, her gaze locked on the hybrid child, now sitting calmly on the floor, as if sensing the danger outside. The hybrid's eyes shimmered with a strange light. "They come for me," the mental voice whispered in Maya's mind. Maya nodded. "We will protect you." But protection came at a price. The station's power grid shuddered under the strain of activating the defense systems. Scientists and soldiers scrambled to secure equipment, prepare weapons, and brace for the inevitable assault. Yet Maya felt something deeper stirring within the hybrid, a power, ancient and raw, awakening in response to the threat. Suddenly, the room's lights dimmed, and a pulse of energy radiated outward from the hybrid. Electronic devices flickered, security cameras went offline, and an eerie silence fell. Colonel Briggs cursed. What the hell was that? Maya stepped forward, cautiously. It's not aggression, it's a warning, or maybe a shield. Outside, the enemy ships opened fire, their weapons blazing brilliant blue beams that tore through the station's outer defenses. Explosions rocked the structure, sending tremors through the corridors. Inside, alarms screamed. The Queen's chamber, though heavily fortified, began to crack under the strain. The Queen herself remained motionless, her breathing shallow but steady. Maya knelt beside the hybrid. "Can you stop them?" The hybrid's glowing eyes focused. "I must try." Raising its small hands, the hybrid summoned a swirling vortex of energy, an intense blue glow that pulsed faster and brighter with each heartbeat. Outside the windows, enemy weapons fired again, but this time their blasts met an invisible shield, rippling like water as it absorbed the attacks. The hybrid's power was formidable, but it could not hold forever. Suddenly, the station's communications crackled to life. A distorted voice broke through the static, chilling in its clarity. "Surrender the hybrid, or face annihilation." Maya's fists clenched. "We won't let you take it," the voice sneered. "Then you will all die." As the battle raged, Maya realized the hybrid's energy was draining rapidly. "We need another plan," she told Briggs. "The hybrid can't hold them off alone." Briggs nodded grimly. "Evacuation routes ready. If we lose this station, we lose everything." But Maya had a different idea. "We can't run. We have to fight smarter." She turned to the scientists. "Use the alien Queen's DNA to create bio-enhanced defenses. If we can amplify the hybrid's power, maybe we can turn the tide." The team worked feverishly, extracting samples and synthesizing new compounds under immense pressure. Meanwhile, the hybrid collapsed briefly, exhaustion showing on its young face. Maya held its hand. "You're stronger than you think. We're with you." At that moment, the Queen's eyes fluttered open. Despite her weakened state, she raised a hand, sending a wave of calming energy through the room. "Trust in what you have built. The hybrid is the key." Inspired, the scientists injected the hybrid with the bio-enhanced serum. Almost immediately, the hybrid's aura intensified. Its power surged beyond previous limits. Outside, enemy ships faltered as their weapons were neutralized by an expanding energy field emanating from the station. But the victory was short-lived. A massive ship detached from the fleet, larger, more menacing, bristling with weapons. The hybrid's energy flared, but even it couldn't match the raw firepower. The station shook violently as the large ship unleashed a barrage. Maya stumbled, holding onto a railing. Briggs shouted, "Brace for impact!" The Queen cried out, a sound of pain and fury. As the dust settled, the station's systems faltered. Communications went dead. Maya looked at the hybrid, who struggled to stand. "They will not stop," it said quietly. Maya's heart pounded. "Then neither will we." Cliffhanger. In the darkness after the attack, a shadow moved inside the station, a traitor among them, with secrets that could doom them all. The betrayal, within. The air inside the station was thick with smoke and tension. Alarms still wailed softly, punctuated by distant crashes, and the occasional metallic groan as the battered structure struggled to hold together. Emergency lights cast long, flickering shadows on the walls. Shadows that now seemed to conceal far more than damage. Maya's breath was steady, but her mind raced. The hybrid sat nearby, drained but resolute, its glowing eyes dimming as it tried to regain strength. The Queen lay dormant, her vital signs weak but stable. Outside, the enemy fleet hovered, their presence an ever-looming threat. But the more immediate danger was no longer outside. It was inside. Maya had sensed it from the moment communications had gone dead after the last attack. Something was wrong. Too many systems were offline. Vital data was missing. And the subtle signs of sabotage were impossible to ignore. "Briggs," Maya said, her voice low but urgent, "we need to find out if there's a traitor in our midst." Briggs nodded grimly, wiping grime from his face. "I've been thinking the same. We can't trust anyone completely right now." Together they gathered a small team of loyal personnel to investigate, but paranoia spread like wildfire. Every glance, every whispered conversation felt suspect. Maya couldn't shake the feeling that someone close was hiding something that could destroy them all. In the shadowed corridors, the traitor moved with practiced stealth. A former scientist turned mercenary, recruited by the enemy, had infiltrated the station long ago. Their mission to sabotage the defenses and steal the hybrid for their masters. In the control room, flickering screens revealed partial data breaches, files erased, encrypted messages intercepted. The traitor was erasing their tracks meticulously, but not perfectly. Maya's team worked through the night, piecing together clues. A security camera had been disabled just before the last attack, and motion sensors recorded suspicious activity. Near the biolabs, Maya's heart sank when they discovered a hidden compartment containing stolen research notes and alien tech blueprints. Someone was feeding information to the enemy. Meanwhile, the hybrid was restless. Though exhausted, it had begun to sense the turmoil around it, the fear, the suspicion, the growing divide among humans. One evening, Maya sat beside the hybrid. "In the dim glow of the chamber, can you tell me who it is?" she whispered. The hybrid closed its eyes and reached out mentally, scanning the minds of those nearby. Suddenly, its eyes snapped open, wide with alarm. "Danger is close," it warned. "Deception wears a familiar face." Maya's stomach twisted. "Someone we know?" The hybrid nodded faintly. The following day, the station's defenses were compromised again. A sudden blackout left them vulnerable. As enemy drones swarmed the perimeter, Briggs ordered an immediate lockdown, but the chaos inside was escalating. Maya confronted the personnel one by one, her intuition narrowing in on a quiet engineer named Keller, someone who had always been distant but efficient. "Keller," Maya said sharply, "where were you during the blackout?" He hesitated. "I was in the maintenance tunnels, fixing a power surge." "Alone?" she pressed. He swallowed hard. "Yes, no one else was down." "There." Maya's eyes narrowed. "I don't believe you." Before she could say more, alarms blared again. An explosion rocked the station's core. Rushing to the control center, Maya and Briggs found the traitor trying to open the Queen's chamber, intent on capturing the hybrid. "Keller!" Briggs shouted, leveling his weapon. Caught off guard, Keller spun, eyes wild. "You don't understand. They promised a better future, a new order. This hybrid could destroy us all." Maya stepped forward. "It's not the hybrid we should fear. It's people like you, blinded by greed and fear." Keller lunged, but the hybrid's sudden burst of power threw him back, knocking him unconscious. As security detained Keller, the Queen stirred once more, a faint smile crossing her lips. "The enemy's true weakness is division," she said, weakly. "Unity will save us." Maya looked at the hybrid, now glowing softly with renewed strength. "We've faced betrayal, and yet we're still standing. We must prepare, not just to fight, but to unite." Cliffhanger. Just as the team caught their breath, the station's sensors picked up an unexpected signal, a distress call coming from deep space, near the homeworld of the hybrid's ancestors. The last light. The distress call echoed through the station's communications array, crackling with static but impossible to ignore. It was faint, but unmistakably a message in an ancient language, the tongue of the hybrid's ancestors. Maya stared at the screen, heart pounding. This could be a beacon of hope, or a trap. Briggs tightened his grip on his rifle. If it's real, it might be our last chance to end this. The Queen, now resting but conscious, nodded weakly. "It is a call from those who once ruled the stars. My people. We must answer." Preparations began at once. The hybrid, infused, with the Queen's revived strength and the bio-enhanced serum, was now glowing with a serene, otherworldly light. Its eyes, bright with ancient knowledge, revealed glimpses of a forgotten past, a legacy of peace, conflict, and survival. Maya joined the hybrid in the command center. "What will we find at that signal source?" The hybrid's voice was calm but resolute, a place of refuge, a power that can turn the tide, but also a truth that will change everything. As the ship prepared to launch, the enemy fleet tightened their grip, sensing the hybrid's weakening presence would soon vanish if the station fell. The journey through space was tense and silent, except for the hum of the engines. Maya, Briggs, the Queen, and the hybrid gathered in the observation deck, eyes fixed on the swirling nebula ahead, the source of the distress call. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently. "Enemy ships closing in!" Briggs shouted, Maya's heart hammered. "We can't outrun them." The hybrid stepped forward, placing hands on the control panel. "Hold on," it said. A brilliant blue light burst forth, enveloping the ship in a protective cocoon. The hybrid's power, amplified by the Queen's DNA and the bioserum, created a shield unlike any the humans had seen. Enemy fire struck the shield, but it held firm. As the nebula's colors danced outside the windows, the ship emerged into orbit around a vast, abandoned city. Gleaming spires and ruins bathed in strange light. "This was once the home of the ancients," the hybrid whispered. "My ancestors who fled war and sought refuge here." Maya and Briggs prepared to descend, knowing the answers. And their fate awaited. On the surface, the air was thick with silence and history. The team moved cautiously through the ruins, the hybrid guiding them toward a towering structure at the city's heart. Inside, an ancient console flickered to life, responding to the hybrid's presence. Suddenly, holographic images flooded the chamber, star maps, histories, and warnings. The Queen's eyes widened. The ancients possessed the power to reshape life itself, but they feared misuse. Maya listened as the hybrid explained. The bioserum derived from the Queen's DNA was only part of the story. The true power lay in the balance of their heritage, the merging of human resilience and alien wisdom. Suddenly, the chamber trembled. Enemy forces had followed them here, intent on seizing the power for themselves. Maya, Briggs, and the hybrid braced for battle, but the Queen raised her hand, releasing a wave of calming energy that disarmed the attackers. If only for a moment. This power must not be weaponized, the Queen warned. It is a gift for healing and unity. In the final confrontation, Maya made a choice to use the knowledge of the ancients not for war, but to heal the wounds of both species. With the hybrid as the bridge between worlds, they transmitted a message of peace across the stars. Epilogue. Back on Earth, the hybrid and the Queen became symbols of hope, living proof that two worlds could unite. Maya looked out at the night sky, feeling the weight of everything they had endured. Maybe the future isn't about fighting, she whispered, but about understanding. The hybrid smiled softly. Together we are stronger than fear. And as the stars shone brighter than ever, humanity's story had truly begun, not with war, but with hope, the end.